Whoa, what's that? Oh, that's the stupid balloon left over. I'm sorry. It really looks like a face. Okay, what am I supposed to do? I feel like I'm missing something. Huh? It changed. That looks a puzzle? Oh my god. Oh shit. Oh no. I have no idea what that is. Let's give it a shot! Okay. What am I supposed to do? That's interesting. Surprise, that's not the answer. This puzzle is too hard. Oh, it's the parallelogram. Oh my god, it's the parallelogram. Okay. Okay, this should be fun. This should be fun. No problem.
What the toss? Valles de ríos y montañas, América Latina es un misterio. De pueblos, de valles, de ríos y montañas, América Latina es un misterio. América Latina es un enigma. Los pueblos cansados están de tanta miseria y dolor. Oso Pacha, Pachamama. Los pueblos cansados están de tanta miseria y dolor. Oso Pacha.
Wow. Oh my goodness. My second, third, fourth, and fifth grade elementary school teachers would be so disappointed in me. It's okay, because some of them are probably dead. So what do we get? IILP? Is that just the other password? Is it the safe or secret password? Yes, it is. Okay. Jeez. Whew, looks like it worked. Thank you. Yep, this is our escape, or, gosh, secret password. Alright, then we got everything we need here. Let's go ahead and get the heck out of Dodge. Oh, wait, I completely forgot about the cards. Anyway, we'll just put in the IILP bit. Alright, let's put the shit in. There it is! Another gold file, bitches. Thank you, Timmy OG. I really appreciate that. And we're gonna put the green password in next. Oh, shit. Do I still have to do that? No. Booyah. It's open. Looks kind empty. Kind empty? Come on. First we've got the AB room key cards. Star keys. Very good. There are 2 of them. You guys take one, I'll take the other. These are the star cards. This is for the 3rd round. And the other thing is key, as usual. Okay, yeah, let's get going. Need to get out. Turn that key, bitch. You guys ready? All right. 3, 2, 1. Where's this gonna lead now? I guess we're gonna have to all meet up again, right? Excuse me?
No!
Cool.
Damn it!
What's wrong?
What's wrong with you?
I left something in the director's office.
Did you?
What was it?
The picture. Ugh, how could I forget it?
The picture. Why does that matter so
Yeah.
much?
I'm going back. You two go on ahead to the warehouse.
I want to come
Go
with
ahead.
you.
If you're willing to give up your
No,
vote.
that's fine. Why don't you head back to the warehouse?
I'd like to
Sigma?
go too,
The
actually.
others are probably already waiting.
All right. I'll see you two later then.
Right.
Bye, Mr. Sigma.
What's with the speakers on his head? I watched them jog off toward the blue door. And then they were gone. Guess I should be getting back then. Stuff's getting pretty serious now. I stepped into the warehouse to find all the other teams already there. Kay and Luna, Fi and Clover, and Dio. The moment Dio spotted me, he dashed over to the rightmost AB room and slid his card through the reader. Have I mentioned I don't trust him? Because I don't.
An ambidex gate has been opened. 45 minutes remain until ambidex game polling closes.
As he turned to look at me, I swore I saw a flash of a smug grin.
There. Happy?
No.
This time I waited for you to get back before I opened it.
Ass.
You see? I can be considerate.
Temyoji and Cork aren't here.
Yeah, where are they?
I guess they forgot something back in the room we found. They ran back to grab it real quick.
And they'll be here in a few minutes. No big deal.
While we waited, we exchanged information about the rooms we'd investigated. Unfortunately, none of it seemed very useful. None of us had found anything, and we were no closer to unraveling any of the increasing number of mysteries we were faced with. With that discussion exhausted, we sat down to wait. Before long, 20 minutes had passed since Dio opened the door, and Temyoji and Cork were nowhere in sight.
Don't you think they're taking a little long?
Yeah, this doesn't seem right.
Yes, I'm getting worried. What if something happened to them?
I'll go have a
I
look.
shall accompany you.
What? Why would you want to go by
Just
yourself?
Don't look into the abyss too long, or you might become a monster.
What does that mean? Seriously, what does that mean? Okay. Look, I'm just going to the director's office. I'll be right back. No big deal. Right. See you guys later. I gave a quick goodbye wave and stepped out of the warehouse. They're not here? What? That's not good. Where else would they be? That's definitely not good. And the picture's gone. Temyoji and Cork must have been here then. I laid out the floor B map. They must have taken the door that faces the warehouse. After that, they probably went through the warehouse and out the blue door to the elevator. Yeah, that's a much shorter route. On the other hand, I came through the red door, which is kind of the long way around. Huh. Looks like we managed to miss each other perfectly. Ugh, well, this was a huge waste of time. Shoot. Might as well head back, I suppose. I packed up the map and was headed toward the door when... Huh? There was a light on where there hadn't been a light before. What? What is that? Why is that thing on? We messed with it earlier, but nothing seemed to work. I felt a sudden wave of inexplicable, nauseating dread. The light stared at me. I swallowed and edged cautiously toward it. The machine was in arm's reach now. I stretched my hand out toward it slowly. Slowly.
So, you finally made it.
Are you Zero? Is that Zero? No, you're...
I am Zero.
It is Zero. Oh, shit. You look a lot like Tenmyoji.
I was the one who brought you here. You undoubtedly have as many questions for me as there are stars in the sky.
You got that right.
As you can see, however, this is only a recording. I will therefore be unable to directly answer any questions.
Of course.
Ask if you wish, but I cannot respond.
Ugh. I considered taking a swing at him, but decided that was spectacularly futile and kept my bald fist at my side.
Now, where to begin?
Please.
There are many things I wish to tell you,
Talk!
but unfortunately, our time is limited. As such, the information I can provide is also limited. I have chosen two things of great importance to tell you.
Which is...
First, I will tell you about termites.
Oh, of course, termites. Cool. What about termites?
In retrospect, I suppose that's a rather odd thing to say. I imagine you look rather bewildered right now. Perfectly understandable. The person who kidnapped you and threatened you with death is lecturing you about insects. I suspect it hardly seems fair. Nonetheless, this is very important. In a way, it will determine your fate.
And how
So
is
I
that?
ask that you listen carefully.
What is he wearing? He looks like a captain. Seems to be missing an eye. Alright, old man, keep talking.
Have you ever seen a termite mound?
No. Not in real life, anyway.
They are splendid structures. Some might even call them works of art. Termites are natural architects, and their mounds are both structurally sound and make excellent use of space. So, are they following some sort of plan as they build? Are there termite blueprints detailing which room goes where?
I doubt it.
No. Of course not. Each termite is simply an oblivious cog in a tremendous machine programmed by millions of years of termite DNA.
Okay, go on.
It is doubtful an individual termite has any idea what its contributions are helping to create. But a human does.
Okay.
We can appreciate the elegant forms of their alien cathedrals.
I kind of see where you're going with this, but keep going.
We can see the simple beauty of their perfect functionality. We can understand the splendid planning of their structure.
But they
In other
can't.
words, only an intelligence of a higher order can understand the beauty of what the termite builds.
So we're the termites, is what you're saying.
Now, consider humans. Why are we alive?
Because we are. I don't know.
Why do we love and give birth? Why do we create? From where do our cultures spring?
Our minds and hearts.
There are many theories, but no one knows the truth.
Are you just going to sit here and spout philosophical, or are we actually going to get any answers here? As you said, time is short. Get to the point. Zero.
We are oblivious cogs in a tremendous machine programmed by millions of years of human DNA.
That is true, technically. If you want to get existential about it.
No doubt you see now what this analogy is supposed to illustrate.
Yeah.
Yes, I mean to say humans are not different from termites.
Whoa, mind blown, dude. Wow.
We trudge through our lives with no greater understanding of our ultimate goal. You might say we don't understand what we're building. Only an intelligence of a higher order than ours can understand what we're doing.
Right, right. Can we please get to the point? What's with that zipper? Like it just goes around his waist. That's freaking weird.
Imagine how we might look to such an intelligence. We may be building some structure so perfect and elegant, we can't even perceive it. Whatever it is, we've likely been building it on a dimension just above the ones we know since time immemorial. If we are like the termites, then what we've created is almost certainly something of tremendous beauty.
To someone, or something, or some higher being.
And you are about to catch a glimpse of it.
Excuse me?
Or have you already? Well, that's enough on that subject, I think. Consider what I've said.
In the meanwhile, have some coffee. I brewed it myself.
Now, let's move on to the second topic. It is somewhat more immediately meaningful to your life, and, in fact, the lives of several billion other people.
I agree.
I realize this is rather sudden, but I have a password. It is a password to disarm the bomb. Number.
Oh, crap! Bomb? Oh,
Are
shit.
you ready?
Yep. Alright. Let's have it, old man.
I will only say this once, so pay close attention. The password to disarm the number one bomb is
Yes.
BQZ RGJ DXR.
Alright. Is that all you got? I had no idea what he was talking about. What bomb? Was he saying there were bombs, too? If he guessed at my future confusion, he showed no sign of it.
That is the last of the information this message was meant to convey. Before I go, however, I have a warning.
What's
you
that?
cannot tell any of your companions what you heard or saw here.
Why?
If you do, you will be penalized immediately.
Oh. Well, that's not cool, bro. What? Why? Ugh. Mysteries upon mysteries.
I hope we will meet again someday. We would have much to discuss.
I'm not meeting you now. Why do you think we're gonna meet again? God damn it, Zero. Wait! God damn it, you can't just spat all that crap and disappear. I found myself yelling at empty air. The hologram had disappeared. Ugh. What kind of an idiot does he take me for? Termites? Other dimensions? How could that have anything to do with kidnapping us? Shit! I kicked out of the nearby shelf.
10 minutes remain until Ambidex game polling closes.
Oh crap, I forgot.
All players, please enter your votes. If no vote is recorded before the deadline has passed, any non-voting parties will automatically ally.
Well, that's not good. I need to get back. Not like there's any point staying here. I spun around and ran out of the room toward the warehouse.
Grandpa! Look! Mr. Sigma's back!
Hello, I'm back.
Took you long
For
enough.
yourself. Zero. Or maybe you're Zero's brother. You look a lot like him. Where are the others?
In the AB rooms.
Yeah, I figured. They went in already?
Yep.
Why didn't you two? Have you been waiting for me?
Yeah! Grandpa said there was something he had to tell you before we voted, no matter what.
Which
Nothing that's
is
significant.
nothing that's significant, huh?
Just wanted to tell you we're going to choose ally this round. That's it.
And you had to tell me that no matter what? Seems kind of pointless. I mean, words are cheap. You can promise whatever you want. That's what
True,
I'm saying.
but we've got something to back it up.
Which is?
Just hear me out.
Okay, go ahead.
Quark and I both have 8 BP. We're already on the home stretch, so what do we need to get to the magic number? Well, we need you to choose ally. If you do that, it doesn't really matter to us what we pick.
You get to 9 whether you got 2 or 3 points.
Exactly. That being the case, we don't have any reason to betray you. And if we both choose ally, we both gain points.
True, but you must have considered that I'll choose Betray. That would mean you choose Betray to protect yourselves.
But that's why we're telling you we won't choose Betray.
Mm-hmm.
Can I trust them at this point? It's $1 million question.
Of course.
What do you think, guys? Alright, tell me one thing. Let's say we do this and both ally. Everybody gets 2 points. That means you and Quark will have enough to leave, which is great for you. But I'll be stuck with a measly 5. How do I know you aren't just going to open the number 9 door and leave us in the lurch?
I can guarantee it.
How?
I can give you my word.
um,
I will not open the number 9 door, even if I have enough points to do so.
how do I know I can trust your word?
I swear it. We aren't going to abandon everybody else just so we can escape.
I swear too.
Do you?
I promise.
Man. So all you've got is a promise, huh?
When I make a promise, I keep it. Trust me.
Please! You've got to trust us!
Well, considering this is as far as I've gotten, I kind of do want to trust him, but what is with those speakers on his head? Alright, fine. I'll trust you.
2 minutes remain until Ambidex game polling closes.
We're counting on you, Sigma.
You gotta choose Ally.
I'm counting on you too.
You promised!
With that, they turned and ran into the AB room second from the right. Well, I guess I should get moving. Use the star key. And in we go. I get to the 3rd round of the AB game in this timeline. That's pretty cool. Oh, it all comes down to this. Oh boy.
1 minute remains until Ambidex game polling closes.
I had a decision to make. Should I trust Quark and Tim Myoji? Well, I could believe they were telling the truth and still betray them. That would bring my BP to 6. I'd be that much closer to 9. Choosing betray would guarantee that they wouldn't try and escape without the rest of us. Betrayal seemed like the safe bet, but
Please! You've gotta trust us! You've gotta choose Ally! You promised!
Tim Myoji I could betray easily enough. Tim Myoji I could betray easily enough, but Quark? What the hell was I gonna do?
10 seconds remain until Ambidex game polling closes. 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
In the end here, there's only one choice. I gotta ally with them. Even though I think they're gonna betray
Round
me.
three of
I'll
the
leave.
Ambidex game has been completed. Results will be displayed in the warehouse.
So in a way,
Thank you
they're
for your participation. Ambidex gates now opening.
they're allying with me and yet betraying us all. As soon as they get enough points, they're gonna leave. Clearly.
Results from round 3 of the Ambidex game will now be displayed. Please
go.
direct your attention to the results screen.
Of course! Of fucking course. Not surprised. This is my not surprised face. Damn you. Well, at least I'm not gonna die this time, but I am gonna die because you're all gonna leave us here. Tenmyoji to convince the kid to lie is low. And the rest of them, well, you know, they all had to do what they had to do to survive.
Points have been assigned or subtracted accordingly. Please check your bracelet to see your updated bracelet points.
Yeah, I think we get it. Thanks. Also, Clover can leave. That's interesting. Hey! What the hell, guys? Why'd you betray me?
Quark had nothing to do with this. I made the vote.
Grandpa.
Alright, fine. Why'd you break your promise, Tenmyoji?
I only promised you one thing. We wouldn't open the number 9 door, even if we got 9 points.
What? So you're not gonna leave?
Not what I said. Of course we're going to leave. Look, see Clover over there?
Yeah, obviously. Like I said. Well, obviously I gotta go back and play this timeline again. God damn it. What? Don't tell me. Surprise, surprise.
Oh no.
Oh no is right.
Jeez.
That bitch!
Wait. Quark and Tenmyoji have...
The words were barely out of her mouth when Tenmyoji and Quark ran past.
No! God damn it!
Clover. Are you really going to leave? Well, yeah.
Shaw?
Why else would I open the door?
Duh.
But why?
Fuck you,
I'm
Clover.
going to go call the others,
Sure you will.
so we can capture Zero Senior.
Tenmyoji, are you and Quark going too?
Yeah. Sorry about that.
Oh, sorry about
everybody.
that. Screw you. Don't look at me.
So Sigma, happy?
No!
I kept my
No,
promise.
you didn't.
Clover opened the door, not me.
Oh, fuck you.
If you say so. I have to get out of here, and that's that. He's gotta pay for what he's done.
He?
Zero.
You mean you know who Zero Senior is?
Yeah.
Yeah, I bet you do.
Avoid keeping it a secret now, I suppose.
Who is he?
I know exactly
Who is he?
Zero Senior is.
Who is he?
What?
Who is he? Speak!
The number 9 door has been opened. It will remain open for 9 seconds.
Let's go. Come on, guys. Time to move.
Right.
Oh, wait!
This is for you, Mr. Sigma.
Hmm? Quark held something out. I looked down to see 2 pieces of folded paper. What is this?
It's a letter. I wrote it in the director's office before the AB game. I wanted to tell you what kind of guy Grandpa is.
Huh? What?
So, read it, okay?
Yeah, I'll read it while I'm dying. Thanks. He pressed it into my hand.
See you later, Mr. Sigma.
Bye. Goodbye, kid, with your stupid speakers on your head. Then he turned and ran toward the door, Tenmyoji and Clover following in his footsteps. I was so surprised by the letter that I didn't even try to stop them. Before I could think of anything to say,
See you.
Goodbye.
I think we'll see you again. Well,
The number 9 door has closed. This ends the nonary game. Thank you for your participation. As the game is over, all doors other than the number 9 door have been unlocked. Escape is not possible. Please enjoy your stay.
hooray! We all lose. Fuck. Alright, well, I guess we... Whoa.
Shit! They're gone.
I was expecting an ending. But I guess not.
All we can do now is hope they bring help back.
Indeed.
I agree.
I looked down at Quark's letter and slowly unfolded it. His handwriting was still slightly uneven, but he'd filled both pages with writing. I began to read. It was a really stormy day when he found me. He said the rain was coming down so hard it almost hurt, but somehow he managed to hear a baby crying. I guess I must have been crying pretty loud. He took me home and did his best to raise me, but he'd never been married or had a kid before, so I think it was really hard for him. He couldn't figure out how to mix the formula, so he was always carrying the directions around with him. Also, I guess I was a pretty picky eater, so if he didn't get the water to formula ratio just right, I wouldn't eat it. Guess I was kind of a pain, huh? But he didn't give up, and now here I am. When he found me, I was really, really small, and he was worried that I might not make it. That's why he named me Quark. Quark is a really, really small thing, and I was really, really small too. Grandpa didn't need to worry though, because it turned out I was pretty tough. When I was 1, he forgot I was sleeping in the bed of his truck and drove off. I rolled out and went off the back, but I didn't even get scratched. God. I started walking when I was 2, and when he wasn't looking, I fell down the stairs. How do you know this? Sorry. When I was 3, I got really sick. I had a super high fever for a week, but eventually I got better. I guess you could say I'm pretty lucky. Anyway, I didn't really have any more accidents after that, and I was a pretty healthy kid. By the time I was 6, I'd started helping Grandpa out with his work. His job was to gather junk from abandoned buildings. What kind of job is that? Then he'd fix it up or pull out the useful parts and sell them. There were plenty of abandoned buildings, but finding good stuff in them was hard. You had to know which parts were useful, or you could end up wasting a bunch of time. Every time I'd find something, he'd explain to me what it was, how it was supposed to work, how to fix it, all sorts of things. Usually, though, I just wanted to finish up work so I'd go to the theater. The theater came to our town once in a week in a wagon. They'd show old news or movies. I went every single week, but Grandpa only went once in a while, and he'd only go weeks when they showed movies. Oh yeah, I didn't know that I'd been adopted until I was 7. One of the other kids on my block told me. I guess after Grandpa found me, he looked all over town to try and find somebody who'd take me. That's so sad. The kid from my block actually had a mom, and he'd asked her if she would take me too. Gotta admit, I was pretty shocked when I heard that. There weren't a lot of kids with parents around, so hearing that someone lived with his actual mom was pretty impressive. I was also kind of surprised that Grandpa had tried to get someone else to take me. Did that mean he didn't want me? The kid who told me about Grandpa trying to get rid of me was a real jerk. He was totally spoiled, and he bragged to everybody about how he had a mom. He liked to come up to me while I was working and say stuff like, "Must be hard not having a mother." It had never bothered me before, but after I found out that Grandpa had adopted me, I started to think that maybe he didn't really want me. If I could work on my own, then he could get rid of me. I'm scared to know the truth, so I never asked him. Then one day, he took me to a bar in our neighborhood. During the day, of course. He went there sometimes to drink scotch, but I'd never gone before. When we got in, he just walked up to the counter with that grumpy look he has, and I thought, oh no, he's gonna make me work here. But I was wrong. Then I saw him pass something to the bartender, and then he picked me up and set me down on a stool next to the counter. The stool was pretty high, especially for a 7-year-old kid, and my legs just dangled off of it. It seemed really, really high to me, and I was pretty nervous. The root beer float. Eventually, the bartender came back over with a glass of scotch and another big glass full of something else. As I looked closer, I realized that the second glass was full of some sort of brown liquid with a scoop of ice cream in it. The root beer float. It took me a minute to realize what it was. A root beer float! I'd never seen one before. I was so surprised. Root beer was even more expensive than the nicest alcohol in the bar. To me and the other kids, it seemed more like an urban legend than a real drink. But there it was, right in front of me. I stared at the float. I still wasn't sure it was real at that point, and then turned to look at Grandpa. He had already turned around and moved off, though, so I figured he must have put the glass down in front of me on purpose. It still didn't seem like it could be real, and I was just staring at it when Grandpa told me to hurry up and drink it before the ice cream melted. His gruff voice sounded like an angel's. Is this really mine? He nodded. Words can't describe how awesome it was. We could learn a lot from that. All of us. I'd never tasted anything like root beer before. The creamy sweetness of the ice cream made my entire head feel light. felt like the luckiest boy in the whole world. That's not an exaggeration. I really thought that. The root beer float was delicious, but what made me even happier was Grandpa. When I looked over at him, he was smiling. That's amazing. I know that's got to be hard for you to imagine, but he really was. That's pretty amazing. Right then, I didn't care whether he just found me and adopted me or not. He bought me a root beer float. That made me way luckier than some kid who had a mother but had never tasted root beer. Oh my god, that's so sad. Of course, after we left the bar, he was the first kid I bragged to. So Grandpa and I were doing pretty good, until the fight. I was in a super bad mood that day. I'd torn one of my shoes that morning and some old drunk guy had yelled at me. All the junk I found was totally useless. The day was almost over and I was fed up, so I just grabbed some random trash and took it back to the house. When I showed what I found to Grandpa, he frowned. He started going through each thing I'd brought back, explaining why they were all useless. I got really mad and just yelled, "I don't care!" Then he got mad, and I couldn't take it anymore, so I ran away. I was pretty upset. I started thinking that maybe Grandpa had only adopted me so he could raise me to work and make money for him. After a while, I went and hid in an abandoned building, but by then I'd started to calm down and think that maybe I should go back and apologize. It had started raining pretty hard though, so I decided I should wait for it to stop. But that was just an excuse. The truth was that I was nervous. Part of me knew I'd done something wrong, but I didn't want to admit it. The rain didn't stop though, so I just sat there, staring out at the gloomy gray sky. I imagined Grandpa coming to get me. It kept raining all night, and he never showed up. I gave up waiting and decided it was time to go home. I was about halfway there when I heard somebody groaning. At first I thought I should just ignore it and not get involved, but I went over anyway, and it was Grandpa. He was totally soaked, and I could tell right away that he'd been there for a really long time. I yelled, and he opened his eyes a little bit. He smiled weakly and said he was glad I was safe. He spent all night out in the rain looking for me. I felt awful. Grandpa had been out in the rain looking for me so long that he collapsed. I was horrible. He'd heard me crying in the rain, but I hadn't heard him. As I ran to get the doctor, I promised whatever god might be listening that if they would only save Grandpa, I'd never ask for another root beer float ever again. He got a real bad fever, and his temperature wouldn't go down for days. The doctor said that if it kept up, he'd die. So is this Zero? If he died, then I'd be all alone. Is that what this is saying? There wouldn't be anybody left to care about me. Is he Zero or not? The thought of that happening terrified me. Tell me! Fortunately, I must have passed some of my luck on to Grandpa, because a week later his fever finally broke. I was glad he wasn't going to die, but I was also a little scared. What if he had decided he didn't want a stupid kid like me around anymore? My plan was to apologize as soon as he woke up, but when the moment came, my brain just stopped. Grandpa started to talk, and it took me a minute to realize he was apologizing. I didn't know what to think. He explained that he was an old man, and that meant he was probably going to die sooner rather than later. He was strict with me because he wanted to make sure I'd be able to make it on my own after he was gone, but maybe he'd been a little too strict. God, that's heartbreaking. All of the things I'd worried about had been stupid and selfish. Grandpa cared about me a whole lot. He'd been worried when I ran off, and he'd gone out into the rain to look for me. I tried to apologize, but when I opened my mouth, I just started crying. I don't think I've cried that much since I was a baby. But he just smiled and patted my head. That is so sad. I asked him if he'd ever regretted adopting me. His eyes got all wide and he said, "Of course not." He told me that he was looking for a really important lady, and because of that, he'd have to give up on pretty much everything else in his life. But when he took me in and started raising me, he felt like he'd gotten some of what he lost back. That was when I decided I'd stay with him forever. Even if he said I couldn't.